Come in, sir.
Come.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, what's your name?
Anurag Nayan, sir.
Anurag Nayan. Wow, what a name. Sit down. What does it say? Anurag Nayan means?
Sir, Anurag means love and Nayan means eyes. So, one who spreads love through his eyes, sir.
Oh, wow, that's good. So tell us briefly about yourself.
Sir, I come from Bhagalpur, Bihar. I have done mechanical and automation engineering from Guru Gobind Singh University. And I've been preparing for UPSC and other competitive exams.
Last 6
subject,
years.
can you tell us again? BTech in which subject?
Sir, branch name is Mechanical and Automation Engineering. And
Okay.
Mechanical and auto. Okay, we'll ask you on that. But tell me, last 6 years you have been preparing or were you working somewhere?
no, sir, I've been preparing.
You are only preparing. This is your, what, second, third, fourth attempt?
Sir, this is fifth attempt, sir.
Fifth attempt. An interview?
Sir, first attempt, first time.
First time. Your medium is Hindi or English
Sir,
for
English,
interview?
English, sir.
English, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Bhagalpur. Tell me something about Bhagalpur.
Sir, Bhagalpur is
Good. Tell me 2 good things and 2 bad things about Bhagalpur.
Sir, in good things, Bhagalpur is a historical town which is part of Ang Mahajanpad and it is situated on banks of river Ganga. And the other things like in modern times, it has been developed as a smart city.
Smart city, okay.
And there are some, if we talk about bad things, then the recent, in recent times, we have seen riots in 1989. And one other bad thing is that it has been famous for Silk City, as Silk City, but now there has been decline in the production of silk.
Production of silk. Why there is a decline?
Sir, due to the availability of power looms, we do not see that handloom made silk is very famous now these days, and it has been facing competition from Chinese silk
That is what I thought. The Chinese thing.
and
Cheaper
ready-made
and,
clothes, sir, which is more in use right these days.
How about Bangladesh? Do they also produce silk things?
Sir, Bangladesh is mainly in textile sector in ready-made, sir,
Yeah.
and some quantity of silk is also made, but not. We do not face much competition from Bangladesh.
Not much competition. But how about the demand within the country? It has gone down for silk?
Sir, in percentage terms, I do not have idea, but I can see that there is decline in the income of weavers in my area, sir.
That's very sad, no?
Yes, sir.
So that's difficult for them. Okay. What does your father do?
So my father is in teaching profession.
Teaching, very good. Where, what level?
Sir, he teaches in higher secondary.
School?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's a good line. You were in Ganga International School. Where is this?
Sir,
Never
it
heard
is-
of this.
It is in Hirankunda, Delhi, sir, on Rohtak Road, sir.
Achha, Ganga. How old is this school? Ganga International. What is international about this school?
Sir, there is an international exchange program for students. Like it has exchange program for students from UK and Japan, sir. And we have-
and people from here also go there, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Exchange means then only it may.
Yes,
So how
sir.
about you? Did you get a chance to go?
No, sir. My batchmates went to Japan for a few months, sir.
You
But,
never showed interest, or they have a method of selection, or what?
I was not selected.
You were not. But you did show interest. So
Yes, sir.
good. Because what are your service preferences?
Sir, first preference is Indian Administrative Service and second is Foreign Service.
service. Oh, very good. Foreign. So you are keeping track of happenings in
Yeah.
Ukraine?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Tell
sir.
me what is the latest? Yesterday what happened? That is, tell me.
Yesterday, Ukraine attacked on Russian warship, sir.
Warship.
Yes,
They
sir.
completely demolished
Destroyed it.
Destroyed. It's a major offensive, no?
Yes, sir.
It's a big loss to Russia. And also that shows the capability of Ukraine people also and the determination.
Yes, sir.
So you think it's a good development?
Sir, overall, if we see that this is not good because it will more escalate the war.
Yes.
And if NATO gets more involved, then we can see that there will be more destruction as Russian forces are attacking from northern sides also now and regrouping from southern side from Sea of Azov, sir. So we do not, if this goes on, we cannot see that there will be end on the war in near future.
No, other countries may also get involved.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
then
NATO countries.
NATO country, and UK Prime Minister visited. You
yes,
know
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
recently?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Capital
Under
city
these
of-
circumstances, going and
Walk on
meeting
the
and then
streets.
walking on the streets,
Ah.
shaking hands with someone. I mean,
Yes, sir.
so it's going to go on for a while, I think.
Yes.
And for us, things will become more difficult.
Yes, sir.
Because every now and then we have to stay neutral in various resolutions.
Yes, sir.
You see,
Yes, sir.
what happened in International Court of Justice? One of our judges is there. Did he vote against? You have any idea?
No, sir.
Oh, no,
I've
you
not
voted
followed.
against Russia. You know, that was it. Anyway, that is an independent thing. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, your optional is political science.
Yes, sir.
Very good. What Article 356?
Article 356.
Hmm.
Sir, it is related to president's rule in the state, sir.
Very good. So, how is the governor appointed?
Governor is appointed by the executive order by president's order, sir, and it is selected by central government, and it is a
No, but before appointing, the government consult the concerned state government. Is that necessary, or they do they do that? Any idea?
sir. It is not necessary to consult,
not
but it
necessary.
has been recommended that CM of the state should be consulted before.
Now look
appointing.
at West Bengal. Every now and then we hear, CM and governor, they don't see eye to eye.
Yes, sir.
Now even to some extent in Tamil Nadu also, you see some bills are not being forwarded. Now, suppose president rule is declared, huh?
Yes, sir.
What can the concerned CM do? Do they have any choice, or they just take it, swallow it?
So, sir, if president rule is in the state, then the Lok Sabha, state legislative assembly is not dissolved in many cases, but CM is not responsible for action. It will be governor will be.
No. Can they approach any agency? Do they have a window, if I may
Yes,
say?
yes, and they can go to Supreme Court.
They can go to Supreme
If
Court.
the president rule is it is not according to rules. It is just
Okay.
to punish the state, sir.
That's nice. That is a political governor.
Yes.
Let us talk about Reserve Bank governor. How is the Reserve Bank governor appointed? Who appoints him?
Sir, the appointment committee is there, which is headed by Prime Minister, which
You
appoints.
mean the governor, RBI governor is appointed by, not president.
Sir, appointed by president, but
Is appointed by president.
sorry, sir.
It's the Ministry of Finance. Okay, now tell me, in each state we have one governor, right?
Yes, sir.
But there is one state where always you have two governors. Which state is that? Always two governors. This question I asked
Can
in
you
the
take the
UPSC.
cue from last question?
Yes, I am leading you to that. Think for a minute.
Last question.
Maharashtra, how many governors are there? You are the political governor, you are the Reserve Bank governor.
Yes.
Come on, I led you to that. Think for a minute. I didn't ask it. Those are all right. When is your interview?
Sir, on 12th of May, sir.
12th May. Okay, all May. Lot of time. Okay, what are your hobbies?
Sir, watching movies and
Movie,
reading.
Hindi movie, English movie?
Sir,
Huh.
it depends on what
Okay,
kind
what-
of movie.
Okay, what is the
can-
latest you have seen? Hindi movie? Which one?
Sir, latest. I've not been seeing Hindi movies. I've been
Good.
into Telugu and Tamil.
Telugu
Yes, sir.
and Tamil.
Yes, sir.
You follow the language?
Sir, I do not understand the language.
You want
but
to see only the action?
No, sir.
Rajinikanth and all.
No, sir.
Tut, tut, tut. Huh.
I am into cinematography mainly. Ki how they show their culture. Means
Oh.
there is a stark difference in northern Indian films we see in Bollywood and in the
Achha.
Telugu cinema.
And Tamil. Telugu
Yes.
and Tamil.
Yes, sir.
So which one you feel is better?
Sir, we can compare on many
No,
dimensions.
because you are a critical thing person. You have seen all this. That's very interesting that you see Telugu and Tamil. So in what way you feel the southern thing is better or whatever different?
In In terms of VFX and CGI, they are much more advanced than Bollywood films,
They are much more
and
advanced.
they have kept their roots connected. They have kept them connected with the roots. Like they use sitar and veena in their music, but in Bollywood we see that we do not use those instruments these days, sir. So I like that aspect in Telugu and Tamil cinemas.
Oh, very good. Which paper do you read?
So
English?
the Hindu, sir, and Indian
The
Express.
Hindu. What is so good about Hindu?
Sir, I find the language easy to understand, sir, because I've been following it for many years. So,
Oh, many years. Who is the editor? Any idea?
sir, I forgot the name. Sir.
Okay, yes.
So, Nayan, Bhagalpur, it was notorious at some point of time, maybe
Yes.
when you were not born.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
What is that? You recall that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
There was a riot in the Bhagalpur district, sir.
And so, what did they do? In the prison, they did something to the.
Yes, sir.
What did they do?
There was some extrajudicial killings or activities by the police.
They called Bhagalpur blindings.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you're not probably born at that time.
Yes.
So that was it. But generally, it's superficially looking at it, Bihar is one of the backward states, continues to be, and also notorious for the law and order, etc. How come? Because that was the capital of India, and isn't it?
Yes.
Where the empires were there,
Yes.
the seat of empire. So how they slide down, broadly speaking?
Sir, if we compare with the historical facts, then we see that there is a continuation of feudal mindset in the society,
Okay.
which there is a means the criminals are more free to use. They are involved in the politics also. So we can see that there is a problem of law and order due to that.
It's very interesting you use the word feudal. So the feudal relics are there in Bihar.
Yes.
Why should it be so? Why should it be a residue there in one state rather than the other states? Feudalism. Anyway, we will leave it there. Now, no, you said on the global politics, isn't it?
Yes.
I think you have already explained. So, is there a real danger of it becoming a World War number 3?
Sir, World War, if we say that it will convert into World War III, then it will be
So, what
too
should
far.
be done? So, is it possible if we all persist, the international community persists in the present trajectory? So, you see a danger, a risk of a third war.
Yes, sir.
So, what should, because you want to be a diplomat also, so what should be the line? Can we afford to take the neutral stand that we have been taking?
Yes, sir. Neutral stand is very much justified for India. And it is the only way that countries like India and China, they can persuade them for negotiations. Because West is also involved in the war, indirectly or directly. But a country like India, which is aiming for becoming a global power, it can persuade them to negotiate and agree to terms so that war can win.
Very good, Anurag. What's your optional? Sorry, I forgot your optional. What's your optional?
So political science.
Politics, sorry. So, you have done your basic discipline is?
So mechanical and automation engineering.
Automation, yeah. What is manufacturing? Why can't we become like China? We are told that in 1990s our economy was better than China. In a matter of 3 decades, they have become a manufacturing hub of the world, so to say. So how did they achieve this miracle, and why we are otherwise comparable parameters? Why are we not able to do that? What is your study on this?
Sir, first reason is that they have a strong industrial policy in the form of
Industry policy.
Yes, sir. In the form of SEZ, and they invested much in developing the manufacturing infrastructure, and they used the marine capability of shipping. They control the shipping
Are
network.
there any lessons for India to take from China in this regard?
Yes, sir. We should learn that we need to work on the skill development of people and other areas like we
Do you
need.
think, Nayan, there is too much democracy in India? as one honorable member put it. He was thinking aloud, is there too much democracy in India? Is that a problem?
No, sir. That is not the problem.
That's not the problem.
No, sir. Because in democracy also we have seen development like United States and European countries. They are democratic. But the problem can be solved by becoming more, attracting more
What are the
investment.
fundamental duties which are incorporated in our constitution, Anurag?
Sir, there are 11 fundamental duties, sir. Sir, I do not recall all of them.
Don't
sir.
enumerate them broadly.
Broadly, we should respect women. We should not do anything that harm the dignity of women. We should respect the historical culture and national heritage, and we should protect our environment, sir. And
When was this fundamental duties incorporated in our constitution, and why? What's the background? Any idea?
Sir, they were incorporated by 42nd Amendment, sir, in 1976, sir.
That's quite some. We are few decades later than the framing of the constitution.
Yes, sir. The constitution maker believed that these duties will be followed by Indian citizens anyway. But later it was felt that we need to incorporate them in writing in the constitution, so that they have clear mindset. Like we were into pollution. We were not able to control pollution, and women's safety was also an issue in those days, sir. So we had to incorporate them in the constitution, sir.
When you become a development commissioner, what are the strengths that you bring to the job, Anurag?
Sir, from my personality, sir, I will have a clear focus, and I believe in data more than like evidence. So I will form a data-driven policy, and I will continuously audit my work, so that I know that where I am going and what all is left.
How will you deal with corruption in governance? Corruption is a big problem, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
How do you propose to tackle it as a collector?
Corruption can be tackled by using technology, sir. Sir, like in DBT, sir, we use technology like UPI. So, it can curb the corruption in agriculture sector or Awas Yojana or payment of LPG cylinders.
Government tried to bring in very significant legislation to reform agricultural sector.
Yes, sir.
There was an agitation, and then it has been repealed. What are your thoughts on that, Anurag?
So those laws were visionary in the sense that they were aimed at changing the scenario of present day agriculture.
Yes.
I can give example from my own background that my farms are very much disintegrated, means they are very smaller. So I cannot bring much capital I cannot take loan from banks.
Good.
But those farm laws were incorporating the contract farming.
Yes.
I was very enthusiastic that contract farming, if they come in Bihar also, then it will be helpful for small and marginal farmers like.
But there is a genuine fear and apprehension in the minds of the farming community that we will be no match for the corporate greed, and once they take over, then they will be able to dictate terms, and we will not be in a position to safeguard our interests. There seems to be genuine apprehension about that. How do you address that?
Sir, there are agencies, government agencies, which can ensure that corporate do not take over the farms of, and there is Supreme Court or High Court also. And
no, but I don't think courts are in the picture. I don't know.
Sir, if they violate any contract, which is written agreement, then farmers can go to court, sir. Even magistrate of the district can solve those cases, sir.
But then corporates can always influence the loyal of it. Anyhow, sir, I have done to you.
Yeah, Mr. Rakesh. Yeah, Mr. Anurag. Related with the Bhagalpur, we were talking about blinding case.
Yes, sir.
Any film related with that?
Yes, sir. Sir, Ganga Jal was.
Ganga Jal.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So what is this BRI and B3W? BRI and B3W, and whose initiatives?
Sir, Belt and Road Initiative, which is sent BRI, is an initiative of China.
China, and then
And
come to B3W.
P3W is Build Back Better World.
World, that's right. So whose initiative?
Sir, it is initiated by G7 countries. And
G7 countries. And who actually gave this idea in that summit, G7 summit?
Sir, India was also involved in that summit for
Yeah,
for-
India was involved, but who gave this idea that was accepted by all? That is a different thing. And
Sir, I'm not sure.
okay, Biden's, huh? G20 nations. When India is going to have the presidency of G20 countries?
Sir, G20 will be held in India this year in December
It will
2022.
be having presidency,
Indian presidency, sir.
Indian presidency from
20
December 22 to
24, sir.
23, only 1 year, November 23. Okay, no problem. So, related with your mechanical and automation
Yes, sir.
engineering. Okay. What do you mean by high security registration plate, which is there in most of the, it has been mandatory rather in Delhi, and at other places also it might be mandatory, and subsequently it will become mandatory at all the places. So what do you mean by security, high security registration plate?
Sir, I'm
Okay,
not.
no problem. You might be knowing the limitations of electrical vehicles.
Yes, sir.
So some of these limitations can be overcome by using green hydrogen electric vehicles. So which are those limitations which can be overcome by using green hydrogen electric vehicles?
Sir, may I get some time to think? Sir?
Sure.
Sir, electrical vehicles have to be charged frequently, sir.
Yeah,
And we need to replace batteries also.
that's right. Yeah.
And green hydrogen can solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
If we use green hydrogen using the fuel cell, sir, then
Okay, in one go, how much can it run without charging? Green hydrogen electric vehicle.
sir, I'm not sure.
650 kilometers in one go. And how much time would it take to get recharged? Only 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
At least these two limitations can be overcome by this. Now, our Honorable Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Minister for Road Transport and Highways, has signed an MOU with whom for production of green hydrogen electric vehicles. Any idea?
No, sir.
Anyway, that is Toyota Kirloskar and International Center for Automotive Technology.
Yes.
Anyway, now coming to PSIR. Okay?
Yes, sir.
We were talking about 42nd Amendment in the Constitution. So some of the important provisions made through 42nd Amendment in the Constitution, some of those provisions were struck down by Honorable Supreme Court in Minerva Mill case. Can you tell me which were those important provisions which were struck down by Honorable Supreme Court in Minerva Mill case judgment?
Sir, after 42nd Constitution,
Just be brief. Important provisions which were struck down in Minerva Mill case.
sir, the Constitution, judicial review of the Constitution was made possible, sir. It has some provision about limiting the power of Supreme Court about judicial review, sir. And the second provision was the tenure of Parliament was done to 6 years, sir. That was struck down.
Can we say, now you would like to recall, can we say the provisions which were struck down by Honorable Supreme Court through this Minerva Mill case judgment were, number one, precedence of directive principles of state policy over fundamental right. And number two, Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution. Can you recall now, were these two provisions which were struck down by Honorable Supreme Court related with Minerva Mill case?
Sir, I'm not.
Yes,
able to-
these were.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Now, international relations. United Nations General Assembly, again a meeting is going to be held. Agenda is yet to be finalized, but that will mainly include related with veto power of 5 nations,
Yes, sir.
particularly related with Russia.
Russia.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me, though agenda is not yet finalized, complete agenda. So what will be India's stand, and what will be your idea that this should be there and India's stand should be like that, and how can it benefit us? Please tell.
India should go for its permanent membership in United Nations Security Council.
नहीं तो वो तो बाद में आएगा ना. क्या डिसीजन हो जिससे कि वैसा हो सके. ठीक है.
Sir, extend.
India should insist that not only it should be related with Russia, it should be related with all. No veto power at all.
Yes.
And if it is decided like that, then what will happen? Because in the past, what has happened?
Yes.
All the nations, all 4 nations which are having veto powers, they were of the view that India should be given permanent. In the permanent should be the permanent member, but China objected to it.
Yes, sir.
So India's stand should be okay. It can be there. We support, but it should not be related with Russia alone. It should be related with all. No veto power at all. Then only India can be permanent member. Okay? Because others will support. No veto power.
China.
Okay? Do you agree with me?
Sir, I have different opinion about
Okay,
this.
please tell me. Yeah.
Sir, if we go about saying that there should not be any veto power,
Uh-huh.
then member countries will have no motive to be.
No. Then what will be there with the consensus? Oh, not a consensus will not be there. With the majority decision that should prevail. Nobody should have the veto power. Why? Why veto power should be there? And or it could be that all the 10 members who are not the permanent members plus those who are the permanent members, 10 plus 5, whatever the majority decision is, should prevail. Okay, now you agree with me? You may differ. Then you tell me that I differ on this very ground. And if you agree, then it's okay.
No, sir, I differ on.
Yeah, please tell me. Please go ahead.
Sir, you are saying that there should be no veto power and they will come
No
to
veto
consensus.
power. It should not be power. This veto power should not be withdrawn. Not only case of Russia, it should be related with all. That no veto power and decision should be taken based on majority. Majority decision, it could be related with the permanent members only, or it could be related with the permanent members plus 10 members whose tenure is fixed. At one time, 10 members are there other than permanent members of the Security Council. Okay? So, majority decision, whatever is there, that should prevail.
Do I need to take this stand, sir?
Eh?
Do I need
No,
to?
if your opinion is asked and if you agree with me, then you can say like that. If you don't agree, then you tell me that I don't agree with this. This should be our stand. I am asking about your stand.
Sir,
Okay?
my stand on this matter that
Yeah.
India should ask for permanent membership plus veto, sir.
भैया वो कैसे कहेगा? वो तो चाइना होने नहीं देगा ना. चाइना ने होने नहीं दिया. बाकी 4 nations कह रहे थे ना. Okay, so India should be given permanent status. Do you agree with me?
But we should always be focusing on asking for veto power, sir. You are saying that
नहीं,
there
वीटो
should-
पावर किसी की भी ना हो. अभी बात क्या हो रही है कि वीटो पावर हम रूस की ले लें, रशिया की ले लें. Why only Russia?
Yes, that-
veto power होनी नहीं चाहिए. Why at all there should be veto power?
Sir, veto power makes decision making easy, sir.
No, not at all. No, I tell you the instance. You can check the figure. Whatever I am saying, during past 1 decade,
Yeah.
there are only 2 countries who have exercised this power in most of the cases. I think 23 times during past 1 decade, Russia, and 11 times China. Okay?
Yes.
So this veto power should not be there at all. India should support that view. but not only related with Russia, that we will take away the veto power from Russia. Why only from Russia? So India's stand should be that veto power should not be there at all. वो तो subsequently आएगा कि भैया हमारे को मेंबर, वो तो 4 नेशन कह रहे हैं, अपना मेजोरिटी जब कह देगी 5 में से 4 कह देंगे दोबारा से तो मेंबर हो ही जाएगा, परमानेंट मेंबर. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
And even if you differ, then there is no problem at all. You may differ because I am asking with your opinion. Then you can give your opinion, if at all. कि नहीं सर ये ऐसे ठीक है.
Yes.
नहीं ऐसे एग्री करते हैं आप? नहीं एग्री नहीं करते हैं तो बताइए कि नहीं जी ऐसे होना चाहिए. चलिए अप्लाइड मैथ्स की थोड़ी बात कर लेते हैं. आपका बीटेक है, अप्लाइड मैथ्स बीटेक, उसमें भी अप्लाइड मैथ्स भी इनका ये है. देयर वर 2 मैथमेटिशियंस टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर. One was British mathematician and another one Indian. The British mathematician said, the taxi with which I have traveled is having very boring number. Then Indian mathematician said, no, that is not boring at all. That is a very special number. Who were those? 2 Indians talking to each other. Or not Indian, one British mathematician, one Indian mathematician. Who were those?
Sir, I'm not sure.
Could it be Hardy and special number I have used? I have used a special number. Then at least at that time you could have said that okay, it must be Ramanujam.
Yes, sir, I know that one. But
Special number. We call it Ramanujam number, or sometimes we call it Hardy Ramanujam number, because conversation was going on between these 2 mathematicians. Anyway, what is that special number?
Sir, I do not.
1729. Why? Cube of 10 and 9, that comes out to be 1729. Now, what is Ramanujam square, by the way?
Sir, I do not know. Sir.
It relates with his date of birth. 22/12, 1887, there is a square, 4 horizontal, 4 vertical. And the total of all horizontal, vertical line and diagonal, it comes out to be 139. So that is Ramanujam square. You can prepare your own square on that very, on that base, related with your date of birth. Okay? Anyway, thank you.
Good. You know what? Just 1 minute. You have mentioned applied mathematics. I didn't see that. There can be very many questions on this. Very simple question. Now tell me, what are the properties of 45-degree line? Very basic.
45.
Draw a line, x and y axis.
Sir,
45
45 degree means length and height will be equal, sir.
Equal. Equidistant from both axes.
Yes, sir.
And how will you apply it in government? Suppose you become you join IAS or whatever. How will you apply this?
Sir, one of the area that I can think of is if there is a road, sir.
Road or any project or anything.
Yes.
And if there are 2 communities or 2 localities to be served, you can use this
Yes,
in
sir.
such a way that both of them benefit.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Equidistant.
this is how we have to think of it. Okay, another simple. What is the harmonic mean?
Harmonic means.
Define. Arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. What is harmonic mean?
Sir, mean of the reciprocal of the number, sir.
Good. Is there any relationship between harmonium, the instrument, and harmonic mean?
Sir, I'm not
It is
sure.
based on that. If you see the anyway, I mean, I didn't see applied. So there can be number of questions, simple questions on mathematics. Difference between difference equation and differential equation.
Yes, sir.
Integral and differential equation. These are very simple things. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So, Anurag, Bihar is a very special state and bordering Nepal. And we have some basically differences in opinion with Nepal. This Madhesya issue. I won't say the problem, the Madhesya issue. What is that issue?
Sir, Madhesi communities are, they have link with the Bihar and Nepal, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, sir. So they have not been given much rights in the new constitution, sir. So we are asking the Nepal government through diplomatic channels that their rights should be also secured in the new constitution, and we had some differences on that issue, sir.
Basically, they have the delimitation of the states.
Yes, sir.
And the demography has been changed. So, do you have some idea about this?
Sir, no, sir.
When basically delimitation of the states, the Madhesya, they were en bloc having the power. but they were divided partially in the different states. So request to go for that map so that you can understand exact. Could you follow my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Nepal is saying that India is not behaving like a elder brother, but behaving like a
Big brother.
big man or the big brother.
Big brother.
So whether you agree or whether you don't agree, if agree, why? And if you don't agree, why?
Sir, I do not agree with this proposition that India is a big brother, because we have been investing so much in Nepal. We are giving them support to the Bay of Bengal so that they can trade also, and we are investing in hydroelectric project, and we have recently completed the railway line through Nepal, sir, and we have still have open border, and some 8 lakh Nepalis are currently staying in India, and we have also a special regiment in Indian Army for Nepali Gurkha, sir.
No,
And
that is all fine. No, what is the emphasis? When do you act like a big brother?
Sir,
We stopped there. Basically, it was a blockade. The petrol and all the necessary items, necessary commodities were totally blocked.
Whether there is interference in their thing, internal affairs, so
Yes.
to say. You know, that is how a big brother comes. Suppose tomorrow you tell Sri Lanka, do this, do that. Then it's interference, you see.
yes, sir, India should abstain from such policies like interfering in the internal issues of Nepal, sir. But we need to ensure that the minority community in Nepal also gets right in the new constitution, sir.
And what are our border issues with Nepal?
Sir, one of the recent issues in the Kala Pani area of Uttarakhand, and Nepal has altered the map recently, sir. And India and Nepal have been there is a treaty of Sugauli, sir, which have demarcated the area in India only. But recently they changed the map, sir, which India has objected to that map, sir. And the whole area beyond north of the Kalapani area is in India, sir.
So you have the political science as your optional. So when India got independence, there was a transition of the power.
Yes.
How it took place?
Sir, transition of power from British government to Indian government.
Yes.
Sir, it was given to the Viceroy of India, sir, Sri Rajagopalachari ji. And then after the adoption of constitution, it was given to the Indian Republic, and the executive powers were vested in the President of India, sir. So that is.
First of all, let me give my opinion. First of all, in British Parliament, they passed an act. What was that act?
Indian Independence Act of 19.
So first step is,
Yes, sir.
if I am having power over certain piece of land or the country, legally I have to say I won't have that power.
Yes,
so
sir.
first step will be
Act, sir.
act.
Yes, sir.
Then how to implement that act?
Through some executive, sir.
Through some executive,
Yes, sir.
through some time frame.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
What was the time frame?
Sir, from 1947 to 49, sir.
They declared a particular date. By that such and such date, we will transfer the power. In that, it was June 1948.
48, yes, sir.
So the steps should be absolutely clear in your mind, because you are a political science student. If you had been a geography or your like that, so, and it is a very important second step. By that time, that frame of a time, we will leave the country and will come back and transfer the power. Then to whom you will transfer?
So Governor General of India.
Who was the governor of India at that time?
Governor General of India, Sri Rajagopalachari.
At that time, Lord Mountbatten was entrusted this duty that you do it and you transfer the power. Point clear?
Yes, sir.
You do this duty and you make it convenient so that the transfer of the power can be practical or easy or then. So why they chose this 15th August as the Independence Day? So they will transfer this power by say 15th August of 1947.
Sir, I forgot the reason, sir.
Why?
Sir, I will look into it.
Two reasons. One was that because he was fighting a war in Burma and he got some good news. Basically, he won the war in Burma on 15th August before that year. So it was a lucky day for him. And secondly, the people say that 15th August 1947, there was a call by the Jinnah, direct confrontation day. And they wanted that next year, if the direct confrontation day will become, so again the Kamala rights will be there. So these are the two theories.
Sir, may I ask questions?
Please.
Sir, first point, sir, I am not clear about that. So please explain, sir.
Lord Mountbatten, he was fighting a war in the Burma, and I don't know the exact year. On 15th August, he won the war.
Yes, sir.
I think it was 45 or 44 or 45. So that was a lucky day for him. So he wanted to celebrate his lucky day also. But the Indian people say because the direct confrontation day was celebrated by the Mr. Jinnah, on 15th August 1947, there was a massive communal riots in Calcutta and the rest of the country. So again they were saying, if you won't give us a separate Pakistan or separate country for us, we will again having the direct confrontation day on 15th August 1947.
Yes, sir.
So this was the process. Then how to pass the power? If you want to give something to your brother, you will give something, no?
Yes, sir.
So how to give? He should be able to receive. Then the Constituent Assembly was formed and then this process. So my point is that you please go through this one because you are a student of the political science. You have opted. That is important for you. That is important for you. Then basically, then how the Constitution was formed? What was the process?
Through the Constituent Assembly, sir. There were elected representatives and there were nominative representatives from the princely states, sir. And they had there was discussion among them, sir. And different constitution of from around the world was read by Dr. Ambedkar and important articles were inserted in our constitution.
How many committees were there when the constitution was formed?
Sir, I'm not sure about that.
9 committees.
Sir.
So that is the important part. That's because you are a good student, you can go. In Corona days, basically your applied mathematics, all the good mathematicians and the applied mathematicians, they used to predict. Okay, on this way will come in such and such a. Because I'm a layman, so can you? Yes. Model. So can you throw some light on this? How they predicted this?
Sir, I am not.
You are not aware. And Maharaja Agrasen, who was Maharaja Agrasen?
Sir, Maharaja Agrasen was a Suryavanshi king, according to the accounts of Bharatendu Harishan, and he founded the Agrawal community, and he founded a city of Agroha in Haryana, which is currently located near Hisar. And he is believed to be an egalitarian king, sir, and he believed in the idea of non-violence and banned animal sacrifice in his kingdom, sir.
Very good. And Guru Gobind Singh, what was his contribution in the for the Indian society?
Sir, he started Khalsa Panth, which was a community of warriors to protect anyone who is been on which violence was committed, sir. Even means one who do not belong to Sikh community, even those need to be protected, sir. And he is the 10th Sikh Guru of, and last Sikh Guru of Sikh, sir.
And who was the 5th Guru?
I do not know, sir.
Who established this Amritsar and
No, sir. No idea, sir.
okay. And then what is Kalistan? Again, there is a basically some simmering going on that let it be a Kalistan movement or a Kalistan state. What is this Kalistan state and Kalistan movement?
Sir, there is a demand for separate state of Khalistan, which includes mainly Punjabi communities, and it is a separatist movement which do not believe in the Indian state, sir. They want separate state, basically, sir.
So what is the background for this? There was a demand in 1947 also.
Sir, I am not sure about history, sir. History of the movement.
No, it is a part of political. It is a part of political science. It is a part of political science. Master Tarachand, he asked at that time also, okay, there should be a. They made a request to the UK government that our interest should be looked after. As Jinnah was making a demand for it, Master Tarachand also made a separate demand that separate Khalistan or 6 states should be there. So that is a part of the political science. So
Good. Anurag, you are given number of subjects. One is tempted to ask very many questions. For example, you talk of heat transfer. There can be questions on that. And then, the thermal science. It's quite a vast subject. Anyway, very simple thing. What are the laws of thermodynamics? How many laws are there? Do you remember?
Sir, there are 3 laws.
Can you tell me 1, 2, 3, one by one?
Sir, I have not revised these subjects.
So the point is, you are given a long handle to hit you back.
Sir,
The handle should always be short so that we can't reach you.
Yes,
Follow? So try to be brief. Just say mechanical engineer and forget about it. Why do you list all this? Anyway, now that you have listed, you better prepare the basics of all this.
I will prepare, sir.
Heat transfer. What is heat transfer technology? Basic thing you should know.
Sir, I will prepare.
And thermal dynamics, all these basic things, emanating from your DAF.
Sir,
Anyway, luckily, you have still time.
I
You know,
thought
almost
that
a month you have.
It has
Okay.
been so many years.
No, that is no explanation.
नहीं ऐसा
Point
कहना
is-
नहीं है लेकिन
Basic,
अगर नहीं पता
basic.
क्वेश्चन तो कोई
Yeah.
बात नहीं.
Cookie,
You can
these are-
simply say I don't
see,
know.
that 20 साल में हो जाए, basic concept you have to know.
Yes,
Anyway, luckily you still have time.
Yes.
Don't worry. Brush up. Basic concept in all these subjects you have studied. And then your own state. And your optional.
Yes, sir.
And the current affairs happenings, both external because you opted for foreign service. Do all that. Take in between one mock, say at the interval of 10 days or 1 week, not every day. Don't do that. Because the more people will ask questions, the
yes,
more
yes.
depressed you will feel.
More
Instead,
confident.
read. Once you know the subject, you will be very confident. Your confidence will come.
Yes, sir.
You follow. So try to read your subjects and the current affairs, etc. And take one mock once in 10 days or 1 week. And you still have a month. So you will make it. You have good personality. Will you wear a suit and go? Or how will you go? You'll go like this? Nothing wrong.
शेव करेंगे.
नहीं,
yes,
shave
sir,
तो करना ही है. हैं?
सेव करके जाएंगे, सर.
बस. और टाइम नहीं लगाएंगे.
Sir, I am not.
ठीक है. If you are not used to it, don't bother. It is not necessary.
बस आयरन ठीक से हो.
वो बढ़िया वो शर्ट हाँ
Yes, sir.
हाँ बाकी ठीक बाल वगैरह थोड़ा कर लेना हेयर कट करना तो पहले कर लीजिए
Yes,
हाँ बहुत छोटा भी नहीं होना चाहिए अभी ठीक है
Yeah,
I
good
think you will do
person.
well
Yes.
take 1 or 2 more box but not every day everything like that and be very selective where you want to go. This is another thing. There are hundreds of institutes available. If you go to Rajendra Nagar, don't walk into any of them. Think about it, consult your friends who are qualified, then go.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. You want to?
You are a good candidate, 2-3 marks, not more than that.
Yeah, once a week,
अच्छा
that
है
is
आपका।
1 month है.
And whenever you don't know answer of any question, तो उसमें कुछ hesitate होने की जरूरत नहीं है,
I don't know, sir. Forget
कॉन्फिडेंस
about
लूज
it.
करने की जरूरत नहीं
हाँ।
है। 2-4 क्वेश्चन नहीं भी बताएंगे कोई
कोई
खास
फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Honesty is important.
गलत नहीं आंसर देना है, ये ध्यान।
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll take some time, sir.
हाँ.
Anurag, how do you feel about this, your interview now?
Sir, I have not idea about many of the things in this mock, sir. Like even from my subject, political science, I have not read about history of Indian transition of power, sir, and Kalistan Movement, etc. I have basically read international relation and theory of political science, sir.
What are the good points you feel about you have given the answers you would like to say? About the veto, you wanted to say something.
Yes.
I could see that you are not in agreement. You wanted to say something, sir. I'll take it.
No, please.
Sir, I want to make a point that if we snatch veto from any of the members, like if at all we think that veto should not be there, then there will be no motive for those powerful nations like America or Russia. Though Russia is economically not so much successful, but it is a military power, sir. So there needs to be a motivation, and India should also.
But don't you think it is rather this veto concept is rather antithetical to the democratic principle?
Yeah.
What's wrong when you say majority people will decide?
Yeah.
No, what is, you seem to have some reservation. What is that? What is that reservation?
Sir, I think that UNGA has majority voting system, sir. But in the matters of security,
Why should that be?
Not-
Don't you think it's a historical anomaly? I don't know because I'm not
Yes,
a
sir.
student. No, because you are entitled. See, and secondly, and also, supposing you are really convinced about it, you should be able to argue. It's not that the right views are not. Even if the honorable members have a view, not that you have to subscribe,
Yeah,
but then you will have to say why.
Yes.
You see, I'm not a scholar of, but I thought it's an anachronism. At the first opportunity, we should do away with an anachronism.
Yes.
Even this opportunity, this war, I thought this be basic structure. This is a time for structural reforms and bring in the principle of democracy. I don't know. I have no pretensions of any political knowledge. But if you have a contrary view, then you should be able to politely disagree with the board. They will appreciate that.
You
Yeah.
can.
Because
You can
supposing you go on deferring to the wishes, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
No,
that also will not go down.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
So, like for instance, Nepal, I like the answer you gave. You said yes, fine, but probably what the board was trying to say, yes, the end was good. We wanted to protect the interests of, but then the way we went about it, the arm twisting, that's not right.
That is not right.
So you have to carefully listen. You are a very good personality. In fact, the members, they are coming down to the specifics.
Yes,
The
sir.
lesson of this interview is you are good in the general concept, but then sometimes you can go down to the specifics also.
Yes, sir.
And when you are a specialist, you should know the specifics. That the law, even many things I was not aware. So there's no harm in that. The whole idea is you should feel happy that it's a slightly, you are brought down to the specifics.
Yes, sir.
So you should be able to. And then your strong points, I feel, is that film, seeing the film.
Yeah.
You said, I want to judge them on 8 dimensions and all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a rather extraordinary aspect of a personality. You don't know Tamil, Telugu, but still you are watching it
Yes.
because you said, I want to judge them by some extra dimension. So you are a strong personality, but it should not be seen as a confrontational one. Be where you can hold on to your ground
Yes, sir.
and then politely, sir, with due respect, I will have this.
Yes.
Because we also need personalities
Yeah.
who will not swim with the current. And then somebody in the government who can hold the thing very polite and then make their point.
Yes.
So this is a good, I would say it's a good mock interview. You got all these things. Work up on that. You'll do well.
Yes,
Any
sir.
questions from your side?
Please. You want?
Any questions? Start. Conclude.
देखिए अनुराग, आपका पॉलिटिकल साइंस है तो उसमें आप पॉलिटिकल जो सब्जेक्ट का जितना भी है सिलेबस है आपके पास, उसके कंसेप्ट आप उसमें डिवाइड कर लीजिए प्लीज़। पॉलिटिकल थ्योरीज हैं वो उसके बेसिक्स, यानी कि बेसिक कंसेप्ट नंबर 1, 1, 2 यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइट इट डाउन, यू आर गोइंग टू इंटरेक्ट विद द मेंबर्स ऑफ द बोर्ड। Number 2, Indian Constitution is very important for that.
Yes, sir.
It is not necessary to go into the details, but go to the various articles.
Yes.
What are the important articles? Say proclamation of the president rule, appointment of governors, fundamental rights, fundamental duties, preamble. So,
Yeah,
preamble. So, Indian then schedules. So basically, you should know the basics of the Indian Constitution because it is one of the part.
Yes.
Then international relationship. International relationship basically when you are from the Bihar, ultimately Nepal will be. Because you are from the Bihar, if any person from the North India, nobody would have asked Nepal.
Hindi है, English है.
So basically in the international relationship with Nepal, relationship with China. Two important relationship. Pakistan is a permanent feature. Nepal, China and Pakistan important for you.
Yes.
Sri Lanka may not be important for you because if somebody, some candidate from the Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, it would have been important for him. So prepare like that.
Yes.
So and then internationally Ukraine and Russia today is important and say suppose World War First, World War Second, World War Third. What are the common features? What were the factors in World War One? Jot down. World War Two, jot down. And number 3, what are the common features which are coming in Ukraine and Russia? So you will be having a clear-cut comparison. So you will decide yourself. So that was just my advice.
Very good.
And you are a very good candidate, very balanced personality, and you are having a very good chance to cross the river.
कब है इंटरव्यू?
12 तारीख को है. अभी बोर्ड है.
12 मई
तो एकदम पूरा यूटिलाइज करना है ये टाइम.
पढ़िए.
नो नेट चांस.
Yes.
प्रॉपर में होना चाहिए.
And we were impressed by your answer on that Ukraine. That was very good.
Yeah, that was good. अच्छा ये बताइए अनुराग जी, आप सिग्नेचर हिंदी में करते हैं?
हाँ यस सर.
हाँ मुझे लगा आपने हिंदी में लिखा है.
बहुत अच्छा सिग्नेचर.
बड़ा अच्छा है.
बहुत अच्छा है. वेरी गुड.
नहीं मेरा मतलब ये था नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, आपने हिंदी मीडियम क्यों नहीं लिया इंटरव्यू के लिए?
सर मुझे लगा कि जैसे पॉलिटिकल साइंस में कुछ होंगे टर्म्स जो मुझे आते नहीं होंगे हिंदी में, तो
नहीं
मैं
ऐसा
जवाब
नहीं है
नहीं.
मेरे ख्याल से. खैर अभी
हिंदी भी अच्छा है आपका. अच्छा
हिंदी
है,
बढ़िया
कोई
आपका.
प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
जैसे हिंदी में एडवांटेज ये है कि बहुत फास्ट नहीं बोल
इंग्लिश भर दिया. इंग्लिश जो भी भरा वो ठीक है.
जब भी. हाँ अभी जो
English
भरा
भी
ठीक
अच्छा
है. वैसे आपकी हिंदी भी बड़ी अच्छी है. कभी कोई सवाल करे हिंदी में तो हिंदी में जवाब दीजिए.
यस सर.
हाँ अंग्रेजी सवाल के लिए हिंदी में मत जवाब दीजिए, बट हिंदी सवाल में हिंदी में दे सकते हैं. ये याद रख लीजिए.
सर पहले पूछ सकते हैं कि जैसे मतलब जैसे इंटरव्यू शुरू होगा.
नहीं वो तो पूछेंगे ही. आई वाज अबाउट टू आस्क यू. नहीं उसमें कोई बात नहीं.
नहीं वो तो इंग्लिश भरा. इंग्लिश में
भरा है तो
ठीक है,
इंग्लिश.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
हाँ,
बढ़िया.
नहीं देन यू कैन से सर आई ऑप्टेड फॉर इंग्लिश बट आई एम इक्वली कंफर्टेबल विद. हाँ ऐसा बोल के छोड़
IFS
दीजिए.
देते हैं.
हाँ.
वो तो अच्छी बात है. दोनों लैंग्वेज में अच्छा.
अगर इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में
अगर
पढ़े
कोई
हैं.
मेंबर हिंदी में पूछ सकता है. कोई यूपी का खास आदमी हो मेंबर, वो ही में आस्क यू. भागलपुर का स्पेशली you know.
And you are out of the ordinary, sir. I think he is out of the ordinary because a man who sees movies in Tamil and
वो थोड़ा
Telugu
मुझे
and then he judges them on 8 dimension is an
Yes.
extraordinary personality.
Yes.
So if you work upon it, it's quite.
Yes,
Yes, that is.
थोड़ा
But
बहुत
then
एक आधा मूवी के बारे में थोड़ा उसका इंग्लिश में ये भी कर लो कि मैंने ये देखी है. थोड़ा बहुत वर्ड्स कुछ समझने लग गया हूँ उसका इंग्लिश में ये है उसका. लेकिन आपको करना पड़ेगा. वो नहीं तो ये होगा भैया ऐसे ही जब कुछ समझ नहीं रहे हो कुछ नहीं रहे हो. थोड़ा बहुत समझ भी रहे हैं.
अब समझ में आ रहा है थोड़ा थोड़ा.
1-2 का हाँ आएगा ही. ऑब्वियसली जब देखोगे बार बार देखोगे तो आएगा. तो 1-2 मूवी का जरा सा कर ले.
कर लीजिए. चलिए अच्छा है. आपका ड्रेस का वो शर्ट जरा देख लीजिए क्योंकि दैट विल बी विजिबल. बाकी जरूरी नहीं है टाई पहनना कोट पहनना. और मई में तो और भी गर्मी होगी. हाँ टाइम
सर
पे
एक और क्वेश्चन है.
हाँ,
जैसे
आप
कि
पूछिए.
आपने श्रीलंका के ये नेपाल के बारे में पूछा तो
हिंदी में मैंने इंग्लिश में पूछो यार.
like you asked about Nepal sir. So I was waiting that you will I gave incomplete answer because I was not sure that you want complete answers. Like you asked if India's stand is justified or not sir. So I was like if you ask me if it is justified then I will answer. Should I answer completely or I should wait for your question?
Basically, whatever I have gave a question and you have answered it. Because it is a mock interview, we are giving directions. They won't give you direction.
No way.
They won't give you direction because as I have told you ki how to go for the Indian basically transition of the power. So you don't, whatever you know, don't give extra and don't give less also.